Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a profile for the future. This is going to incorporate the new Dark Magician support that I honestly don't know what's coming out, but basically it's going to turn any level 6 or higher Dark Spellcaster into a Dragoon for basically free. So this deck is going to be Azamina, Fiendsmith, Kashtira. So it's already kind of a deck in its own right, but certainly the new Dark Magician support just pushes the ceiling just that much higher. So I'll go over the list. There's not anything too crazy apart from just like the innovation I was talking about. But obviously with the wanted engine, we have 2 Dear Bellstar, the Black Witch, 3 wanted, 2 deception, 1 hallowed, 1 gaze of Tomias. So this is the spell that you search off the new fusion. Pardon the print job, it's just how it came out. But basically this card targets a Dark Magician or Dark Magician goal you control in the graveyard, and then it special summons the Dragoon by shuffling back a Dark Magician from the graveyard. So this we'll go over this when we get to the extra deck, but basically you can banish Dear Bellstar to summon this the turn a spell had been activated, which you get to all the spells through here. Then we would banish Dear Bellstar, summon this searches for gaze, and then when Dark Magician's in the graveyards, we just link this off for Fiendsmith combo. We get to shuffle it back and summon Dragoon, which is really nice and really free. And I'm playing the 1 Simple Spores of Slumber Morian just to kind of, again, just increase the end board that little bit more. It's a brick, you don't necessarily have to play it. This is 41 cards. You could cut this and just call it 40, but it's just a free piece that you get on an end board as well. Then for the Fiendsmiths, I'm on 3 Lacrima. This is just the preferred normal summon in the deck. I'm only playing 2 Engraver just because it really does play into Droll quite heavily. Lurry, Tract, Paradise. Could play Sanctum here as well. I was testing it for a while. That would make it 42 cards. But no, the Fiendsmith engine is what it is until it gets hit on the ban list. Then for the Kashtira engine, it's just a really small engine here. Unicorn, Fenrir, and Birth. This is just to make your Azamina stuff a little bit more free. These are great cards to tribute with Deception or send with Witch, etc. And then we have the non-engine, which we are able to fit quite a bit in. We've got Fuelos, Perulia, and this can be whatever, but basically I've got space for 18 in this build to take us to 41 cards. I want to play Spellcard Monster Reborn. I think it's hilarious in this deck. Well, not hilarious. I think it's actually pretty solid. You can't activate the effects of the monster you summon this turn, but you could summon back from the graveyard Sylvia. You could summon back Dragoon. You can summon back the Kashtira monsters. They're all valid targets that are just going to sit on your end board. If, especially like I take Sylvia, let's say you have to tribute on your turn to protect from the Nibiru or whatever it might be, you can just Monster Reborn it back and it's just there for your opponent's turn as well, which is pretty nice. So I think it's a pretty good cut. Obviously, it's just kind of filling the void of what the Bestials kind of do. But yeah, that's the main deck, 41 cards. The extra deck, nothing too crazy. So this is the new fusion, as I've already explained. So you just play 1 of this and the 1 Dragoon. And then we've got the 2 Azamina cards. We've got the 2 Fiendsmith cards, so Desiree, Necroquip. And then for links, Agnum Day, Sequence, Requiem, SP. Dark is a bit of a flex spot. You don't have to play Dark, just more format dependent. Moon, obviously. Then we've got Caesar, Typhon, and playing Chaos Angel because it's really easy to make. Instead of Dark, you could play any other rank 6. Ptolemy's pretty good. Evolve Last could be another option. Or you could add a Link Monster. It's up to you, really. You could play a second Requiem just to kind of insulate against like Bestials and whatnot. But that's the main deck, 41 cards. I'll do some test hands and kind of show you what the deck is capable of doing. Alright, so we'll do a couple of test hands just to show what the deck is capable of. You'll see the combos through these test hands. So first one, Perulia, Spellcard Monster Reborn, Deception, Wanted, and Morian. So 1 piece non-engine, like Spellcard Monster Reborn can kind of double depending on what we're playing against. This is kind of a brick card, but we can send it off as a send off like the Dear Bellstar later on as well, but obviously we're just going to play this out like we're going first. So in the draw phase we would of course go for Wanted, which would grab us Dear Bellstar. We can send the Morian to special out Dear Bellstar and use its effect. Obviously we've already got Deception in hand, which is nice. So we can go ahead and set another Wanted just for redundancy's sake. We can activate the Deception. Before we even do that, I mean, we can take our Diabell Star and banish it for our Dark Magician of Destruction and use its effect to get the Gaze of Timaeus. This just means we've always got that negate now just kind of set up whenever we need it. But now we can go ahead and use Deception. We're going to get rid of the Perulia in hand now. And going to search for Hallowed. We'll activate the Hallowed, sending off the Deception. And we'll bring out, we don't even need Moo, but we'll just use it as, we're just going to use it for the body's sake now. We'll use the Moo effect. We've already got a Wanted, I mean we can just grab another Deception now. We just, like normally we'd just have the Trap here, but we've just got some redundancy in the hand, so we'll just get some extra cards. Next, we can take the Moriana and we can set it to the field, and we can link 2 into our Moon. We'll do the Azamina stuff now, so we'll get the Hallowed back by sending off Moo. We can fire that off. We can send away the Deception in the hand and bring out Ilia Sylvia. And now we are free to do the Fiendsmith plays. We can go ahead and Wanted and put back the Deception we just sent from hand. Obviously we want the one that's engraved from the field because we can get that back in the end phase. We'll put that back just to draw a card. Talents is nice, obviously if we've been hand trapped we can use that. And now we can just go ahead and Fiendsmith plays, and this is all pretty stock standard. So Requiem, Lacrima, Send Engraver. If we do open an additional piece of Fiendsmith engine, usually just Engraver or Lacrima, we can kind of do that extended Fiendsmith combo where we get Desiree in graveyard and we can still end on Caesar, but we didn't in this case, so we'll just play it out what we've got. Requiem to equip to Lacrima, send it away for Necro Equip, and then we can put back the Moon to summon out the Engraver and go for Caesar. And we're pretty free to pass here. I mean, obviously we set our additional spell cards. We get Deception back in the end phase. And so interruption wise, we're looking pretty good. We've got Wanted for follow-up. We've got Fiendsmith cards for follow-up. We've got the Paradise Engrave, got Sylvia. What's actually really cool here, sorry, I should have mentioned it earlier, about the Monster Reborn situation here with Ilia Sylvia, is if we get interrupted at some point and we feel like we need to use the Ilia Sylvia, Monster Reborn, obviously we can just use it to bring back Ilia Sylvia, because obviously we have to trip this off, but this can just bring it back in our end phase, right? We don't set it, we just use it, bring this back, and then we've got it live again for the next turn, which is really nice. This works alongside like the Kashtira monsters as well, so it's really it's kind of like these negates that we kind of have to use. If we have to use it, we can just get it back. Same thing with like the Dragoon. We're obviously going to get Dragoon through Gaze of Timaeus, and like if we wanted this endboard to look stronger and more intimidating, sure, we could go ahead and use Gaze to put this back and summon out Dragoon. But again, we have this sticking around then for the next turn. And so I like just kind of setting it. Ilia Sylvia is already checking other things before we kind of access the Fiendsmith cards. If we get interrupted, we can always fall back on Dragoon. We'll have the trap card, and that's already pretty strong. And obviously we would have talents then to kind of push if we did get interacted with. But they would need a lot to kind of break through this as we were going. Obviously, you know, Charmies and things, Droll, that's the different situation. But yeah. So that's kind of like, the baseline combo. So that just shows you where the Azamina and Fiendsmith cards go. It gets you to the Dragoon, the Fiendsmith cards, the Sylvia, the Trap card. So you always kind of get to that point. If you open one other piece, and what we'll do is we'll just kind of just do some test hands. I'm not going to play through them all like that. I'll just play through it if we get to the extra Fiendsmith card in hand. Because it's really strong. So if you get to Did I get an extra card in there? Yes, I did. That one. I always miss that one. And now we'll just kind of look for engine, non-engine ratios. Okay, I mean, there's all the Fiendsmith cards. So we're just playing Fiendsmith control here, Droll and Droplet, just to kind of slow our opponent down. We won't play that one out, that's just Fiendsmith stuff. Perulia, Fenrir, Unicorn, Lacrima, and Lurry. So one non-engine. Fenrir is pretty good too. Obviously we're playing Kashtira and Fiendsmith cards. Okay, so I'm going to show a combo with the Wanted cards plus the Fiendsmith cards. In the draw phase, we go for Wanted. Wanted's going to search out the Diabell Star, which is here. We're going to send off just a card in hand. So we'll send away some non-engine there. Diabell Star's going to set Deception. And we're going to activate Deception. We can banish the Black Witch for the Dark Magician of Destruction and get Gaze. Next, we're going to use Deception, tribute another card in hand, and we're going to get Hallowed. Going to use Hallowed, sending off Deception to bring out the Moo, and Moo is going to add the drop card. Next, we can go for that Link 2 into Moon, and we can put back the Moo to add back Hallowed, which we can fire off and get rid of the trap card for Sylvia. Now at this point we can reset the trap, and we are good to go ahead with the Fiendsmith card. So we can link off Moon for Requiem, and we can use Requiem to summon out Engraver. Now we'll summon out Engraver here because what we need to do is we need to be able to access 2 Engravers. If it was Engraver in hand, we would summon Lacrima here, but we need 2 Engravers to do this little play. We can now normal summon Lacrima and send the other Engraver to the graveyard. Because now it just puts 2 into rotation. And we can link 2 for Sequence. We can use Sequence. We can put back Moon, an Engraver, and the Requiem. And you've probably seen this before, but we'll show it off anyway. Into Desiree, we can link off Desiree and Sequence for the Agnum Day. We can use the Agnum Day to bring back Desiree, and then we can use these 2 to make Necroquip. We can put back Sequence to summon out Engraver, and we overlay for Caesar. So this is the same thing, except now, so we set our Gaze, we've got Morian set, we've got Lacrima into Agnum Day, into Desiree in the graveyard. Obviously we get Deception back in the end phase. We can opt to do Wanted into Deception if we want to, but this just means our Azamina cards just keep going as well. And we can, I'd rather Wanted put back Morian for the follow-up. But that's going to be the deck. I think the deck's really consistent. Whether or not it competes in the upcoming kind of Justice Hunters format is something to be seen. I've got to double check when this releases because this is something that I'll be playing in as many decks as possible. Just I think free Dragoon is crazy. But yeah, that'll be it for this one, and I'll catch you in the next one.